I help coaches get more clients, and we primarily use Instagram for that. We do Instagram organic as well as paid ads.
Have you ever wondered how to make $1 million of social media? I'm Matt Bellman, and this is $1 Million Creators. Maybe 150.
On a cash basis, we're sitting around like 110 to 120.
Meet Matt Shiver, a physical therapist turned entrepreneur, and he also built low-ticket and high-ticket coaching programs to the 7 figures. He enjoys helping people, making health-informed decisions, and also enjoys traveling while his business works for him.
SMS has been huge for us. I mean, but I think the secret sauce is definitely our
Welcome Matt Shiver to the show. Matt is a physical therapist turned entrepreneur. He built both low and high ticket coaching programs to 7 figures. And he likes building businesses and traveling. In 2021, he traveled 6 months, living nomadically while his business worked for him. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Great intro. I might have wrote that.
Yes, let's kick this off with what's your mission on this planet and what inflection point made you start your business?
Oh, good question. Man, mission on the planet, it seems to change season to season. When I first started, it was a lot around providing, like I was in the health and wellness space. I'm a physical therapist, like you said. So a lot of it was like giving the masses, or like the helping more people make health informed decisions and being really in control of their health. So that was kind of where it started. And recently I love business and marketing. So my recent mission has evolved to more of helping people become more financially free and make financially independent decisions. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And was there like a moment where like you had to do it? It's like it had to start now. You couldn't do the old thing. Now it has to be this.
Yeah, I remember specifically that moment when I was a physical therapist and I was treating 9 to 5 in a clinic. And oh, man, like physical therapists in the United States, they'll double book you. You will be seeing back to back patients all day. Every 15 minutes, a new person walks in the door. And I remember I was at one location, and it was on a rotation, like an internship rotation, as I was about to graduate. And I was like, I like looked at my professor, or my mentor, and I was like, dude, I can't do this. Like I don't want to do this. Like I don't feel like I'm providing a good level of service. I feel like I'm just racing, from one person to the next, because I have to hit these billable hours and stuff like that. And I felt it didn't feel right. Like I was giving poor quality service. And at that time, I was already doing some coaching online, like some fitness coaching, health coaching. And right then, I was like, man, I'm never going to be a full time physical therapist. So when I graduated PT school, I would tell my friends, I was like, yeah, I'm starting an online coaching company, and I'll work in clinic, part time, so I can pay bills. This was 2019, and yeah, that's what I did. So like right out of PT school, I jumped into the online space and just built for a couple of years, and now we're here. And it probably took me about a year and a half for me to exit. Like I went into the PT career field, knew I wasn't going to do it, but I did it for about a year and a half, so that I could have the money, like to get paid, so that I could venture onto the online space. Because I see a lot of people that just jump in and don't have any financial backing, and there's a lot more urgency of this has got to work tomorrow. And it's like, man, it's going to take time to learn how to market and sell and like build a community. So yeah.
Clear. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good segue to talk about today. So if I were a customer of yours today, like what's the core offer that I would buy?
Yeah, so my core offer that I've got right now is a 6-month mentorship program. So it's a hybrid model of both one-on-one and group support. So I help coaches get more clients, and we primarily use Instagram for that. We do Instagram organic as well as paid ads. So the first 6 months, I like to productize my offers. So like there's a roadmap and everything. So like when someone joins, the first 2 weeks are around offer creation and their sales process. So it's like getting all of that dialed in, nice and juicy. They know exactly how it all flows. Great. Once we do that, we'll put people through typically a launch. The reason we do that is we want them to get a quick win. So it's like, all right, we're going to do a launch. We're going to start getting you a couple clients in your immediate network or from your accounts you've already created. Our goal is to get the return on investment back within that like 2-month period. And then once we've done that, that's when we'll start to get into more paid ads. So we like Instagram. it just seems to be a lot more streamlined, especially if you're already creating content on there. So we'll help people we'll help people decide what type of campaigns to run, help them set it up, and they get to work with our copywriter to have their first ad done for them as we teach them the process. So we just like we like helping people build their businesses through marketing and teaching them like the tools so they can manage it themselves.
Crystal clear. If I were to interview some of your clients and would ask them what specific value in your offering they rave most about, what will they tell me?
Organization. They're gonna probably say organization and systems. If yeah, I'm like that's definitely my it's my superpower and my kryptonite is like organization and systems. Because if something's unorganized and kind of messy, I have a hard time uh, knowing what to do with it. So a lot of my stuff is very organized, very clean, very stepwise. So I'd say that's probably the big takeaway. And I see that a lot of people that do work with me, they'll start to implement something similar into their own business. That's like outside of the marketing we help them with. But I think from the people I've talked to, that's typically what they'll say.
Yeah. Before we move on, let's quickly talk about price points. Is there like for this hybrid program like one price point, or you have a value ladder? If so, where does it start on the low end? Where does it end on the high end?
Yeah, typically our core offers between 6 to 7K is our core offer for that 6 months. We do have like some higher touch points, so it can get up to 10 if someone wants like a lot more touch points. And then sometimes we'll it depends on the person, but sometimes we'll have it's like a course only option, so they don't get any of the interaction. We did rarely sell that because it just doesn't perform like the client won't get as good of results if they do it that way. We just found that if we can have support, they can come to calls, like we have daily calls and we have one-on-one coaching as part of that 6 months, and we just haven't seen people be as successful if they just buy a course and don't get any support. So we don't typically sell that, but we might sell maybe one or two of those every like 3 months or so. We typically just sell the units of the 6 month.
What tools do you use to deliver the value to the customers?
We use
Like Zoom, for example, for the calls.
Yeah. So yeah, good question. So our front end marketing and sales is all on Go High Level, and our back end like our delivery of our service is on School. We use School as our platform, and then from our back end from delivery. So like how we organize things is we use Airtable as our CRM that allows us to pull data points to track things like revenue per customer, the amount of calls a customer like Zoom calls a customer has attended. And we're in the phase of really building that out so that we can make better um, like look kind of proactively of like, okay, this person has attended this many calls, what's their chances of success? It's going to take a lot more time for us to collect this data points, but yeah, we're excited about that. So yeah, Go High Level for marketing, sales, School for client facing delivery, and then Zoom calls is included with that, and then our backend for keep a track of all that's Airtable.
Nice. Quickly on the timeline, if you could take me there, when did you launch the business as is today with that offer stack?
November of 2022. It's a new offer. So we launched it in November 2022 as a beta offer, and at the time it was just me. I didn't have any help. Before that, I was doing all one-on-one business coaching consulting for about 2 years, and before that, I had a fitness offer that I successfully exited and sold my shares of before I jumped into coaching consulting. But this offer, November 2022, so last year was our first full year in business, and in that time period, we had some pretty fast growth, like which surprised me, and I'm like, I'm very grateful for, like very grateful for. So we've been about a year, not a year and a half yet, but pretty close to that in business.
If you think the creator economy is really interesting, then I got something for you. On milliondollarcreators.club, we actually created a database of all the creators out there, and you see not just their fans, followers, subscribers, but actually how much money are they making. So with that, we bring now transparency into the creator economy, and you really see how are the best of the best get their customers, price their offers, create their offer stack, get customers, which tools are they using, how will they grow and triple their business going forward. So if that's interesting for you, including lists of who makes the most revenue, who has the fastest revenue growth, who has the biggest audience, who has the fastest growing audience, who makes the most revenue per follower, and who has the most exciting offer stack from low end all the way to the high end, then go to milliondollarcreators.club and enjoy the data. Clear. Hey, one more question out of curiosity. I bet because school became very popular recently, used likely something different for client delivery before. What KPIs have changed? Because you're like very organized in systems, right? So like what has changed with using school? What has improved? Well, what did you learn there on the client delivery side?
Actually, I've always been with school. I joined Sam Evans.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
so I joined Sam Evans WeTube Mastermind before I launched this current offer, and that was in school. So I was like, an OG inside of school. There wasn't that many people. I was like, this is awesome. But I have been just to answer that question, I have been part of other mastermind groups where I've been a coach or facilitator of, like in Mighty Networks and Facebook groups and stuff like that. And man, school is just it's been a lot more cleaner in terms of being able to have the communication inside of there. The the deliverables though, or like the KPIs that we track haven't changed too much for the platforms, to be honest, because like the KPIs that we're tracking, we're not doing on school. We're still asking for Airtable. We're asking things like the amount of clients they sign that month, the amount of sales calls they sign that month, the amount of contracted revenue and collected revenue. So we're asking more of the business numbers, and everything else is still pretty manually input. So like, when someone comes to a collaboration call, the person who's hosting the call has a Airtable form pulled up to the left, and they're just like picking the person's name and putting it all in there. We've hired VAs for it in the past, but that's not our current process. But yeah, our KPIs, I guess, to answer, haven't changed too much. I mean, we don't look at like completion rate inside of courses and stuff like that as much, because I just haven't found that to be. Yeah, I don't know. I just haven't done that. I mean, I guess we could do that, but it's not something that's been important to us yet.
Yeah. Let's move over to the next section. This is the success section. So how many paying customers do you have today? Maybe a typical month. Like, I don't know if March is typical.
Yeah, yeah. I would have to check today, but I know at the start of this week we had 143 active clients, and what we typically do for sales and units a month, we're averaging around 23 to 25 like units or sales a month for that program. Last month was a little bit slower. I think it's the start of the year, but if we look at Q4, our average was 23 for the quarter.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Let me see if I can actually ballpark the numbers. 143 active clients, and you have a price point of 6 to 10K with an extension. So let's say on average 7. That's for 6. Let's say 6K 6 months, 1K 1 month, 143K a month, maybe 150,
Yeah, yeah. I'd say, yeah,
150.
cash.
Is that correct?
Yeah, around there, I'd say like our cash collected, that's more contracted, and I don't really count contracted. I look at more cash collected. I think a lot of people in this space are like, oh, I made this much money. It's like, how much money is actually in cash? So like on a cash basis, we're sitting around like 110 to 120 is typical for us. Like if I look at the past 3 to 6 months, probably 6 months, that's probably our average. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. But like if you every month bring in 24, actually 24 new clients per quarter, right?
Correct. 24 nights, 24
24
per
times
month.
6 is per month. Yeah, okay, but then 24 per month is 150-ish as well. And then of course you have to defer that, but if you bring it in consistently, then it's more like it's 120 a month. Okay, and real quick, is any of that is one time, right? I mean, likely you have another program that you maybe then sell into, or like I'm interested in
Sure.
recurring. Like how much is this recurring, or
Yeah.
not really?
Yeah, the current offer that we've got, so like we just launched this one last year. So our current focus is still on that one product, like is that one offer of like really fine tuning that. And building more systems around that. We do have some renewal offers, but the renewal offers are still inside of the same container, the same group. And then when we do, I have some more things, more juicy things for you. But when we do that renewal offer, we'll often break it into smaller payments. It's typically half of what their initial investment was, and we'll ask for the payments monthly so that we do get some recurring revenue. Because if you're just doing the high ticket grind, it's dude, if there's some months where you're not making any money, you feel strapped. It feels really like nerve wracking. So we have that
Yes.
coming in, and then we also have like another downsell that would be like just access to course and community without your one-on-one coach, and that's a couple $100 a month. So that kind of builds. It's going to take more time because the offer still is new for us to get that subscription and recurring revenue up to a place where it's like significant. And then we also, I didn't mention this. Like one of the other things that we'll do with our clients is we'll set them up with Go High Level. So it's like to make the ads profitable, we really need to have a good follow up system and CRM in place. So we have a white label version of that. So we have a couple $100 a month that's coming in from that as well from the clients. Um, so that adds also to recurring. But to your point, like
Clear, clear.
yeah, good.
Yeah. Let- before we move on, just to understand growth a bit, if you compare that to 12 months ago, how did that change? Let's say 120
Oh
a
man,
month, 12 months ago.
12 months ago, we were probably doing maybe 30, 40K a month, like again, it's a new offer. So it
Wow,
was,
congratulations.
yeah,
That's a stellar growth.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. So it was just me. So when it was just me, it was, I couldn't handle more without like having a bad service delivery. So as we've scaled, like I've
How
had
big
to,
is the team? Like,
yeah. Right now we've got two appointment setters. So they manage like our Facebook ads. They drive to our website, and there's text and email automations when someone responds. Our appointment setter books. So we have two appointment setters. We've got one full time sales rep, and we've got another part time. But those are the two. So sales is 3 to 4 people, and then the fulfillment team we've got one, two, three full time, and we just hired one more person who's in training. So you're looking at 6 to 8 people, like who are like full. I don't say full time, but who are really core members of the team. Plus, some VAs and virtual
yeah,
assistant, editors and stuff like that. But I don't really. They're not, their involvement isn't as key to the success of the business as the key like seven.
clear. Is payroll the biggest item on your P&L in terms of cost, or is ads actually bigger?
They're pretty much neck and neck right now. Payroll is bigger right now. And that honestly, the reason for that is that, we want to be able to spend more in ads, but we have to keep that profitability. So that's currently one of our biggest focuses is how can we continue to improve our customer acquisition costs so that we can have that be higher. But right now it's payroll.
Yeah. Great segue again to talk about lead generation, customer acquisition. So how do you actually get eyeballs and awareness?
Yeah, great question. So, man, the top of the funnel for us is definitely Facebook and Instagram ads. We've launched a little bit of like Google Performance Max and YouTube ads. Haven't generated a ton of sales from that, but primarily most of the traffic is on Facebook Meta ads, Instagram as well. Instagram's the main platform for us organically, so that's where like our focus is on creating organic on Instagram, and we'll repurpose other places. So that's where they come in from. And then once they join the email list, I do 2 long form YouTube videos a week, and they're very educational. Like I give a lot of stuff away for free on YouTube. So the YouTube is kind of the nurture machine outside of the daily posts and stuff on Instagram. But most of our like top customers have binged a lot of the YouTube videos before they get on to the sales calls with us.
Before we continue, there's one favor I would like to ask. If you enjoy what we do here and you enjoy the guests that we bring, please join Million Dollar Creators by hitting the subscribe button. And if you do, I'll make you a deal. I do everything in my power to make this show bigger and better for you. Do we have a deal? Enjoy the show. Clear. Interesting. So that means the funnel from awareness to purchase is ads to
VSL.
emails
Yeah.
to YouTube nurture, which is public, which is free, but you promote the links, of course. Then sales call, and then once the payment has been made, you then give access to school.
Correct. Yep. You got it.
Very clear. It's interesting. You have a really good revenue per follower rate. Maybe tell us what has been your secret to grow and convert your audience. I mean, your audience is considerably, 24,000 ish.
Yeah.
And you make pretty decent revenue with that. So what has been your secret to grow the audience, such a high worth audience?
Yeah, good question. Man, I really, I do think that YouTube's been super helpful. That's actually been like within the last year of like creating a lot of long form educational content for my stuff. If you're a fitness coach, it may not apply to you, but if you're doing like business coaching, consulting, marketing, stuff like that, like that's super valuable to like form a relationship. So I think that's like part of it, but I think the secret sauce is definitely our like when someone opts into our Facebook ads or our Instagram ads or whatever, we use SMS marketing. So when someone opts in, you're going to get a message from us like right after, and being able to have a conversation in the DMs or not DMs in an SMS to invite to a call has if I was to just rely on like our traditional funnel to book a call, we would probably have a third of the calls. Like most of the calls that we do book come from actual conversations, right? So when they come in from the ads and they opt in, like they're getting the automated text messages, they're asking questions about the training they watched, and we invite to call. So SMS has been huge for us. I mean, if I was to pull up how many SMSs that my account sent last month, it's probably 6 to 8 thousand text messages that got sent out last month alone. Costs a decent amount, but
And that is text message. That's not iMessage. That's not. Huh?
I was saying it costs a decent amount for
It's
us.
not. It's not WhatsApp. It's not iMessage.
No, it's text. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you get the green text. Yeah, not iMessage.
Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Hey, let's talk about the future. So, how can you triple the business? Maybe let's start with, can you triple it already with your resources? Yes or no in the next 12 months? And regardless, what strategy or tactic will get you that massive growth in the next 12 months?
Great question. Can we triple in 12 months? I don't see us tripling in 12 months. Is it possible? Yeah, it's definitely possible. With the current system we have in place, we have to be able to get our cost per call down. Like our cost per call right now has been too high for us to scale profitably, like continue to scale profitably. So that's where a lot of resources and attention is being focused now, is how can we reduce our cost per call so that we can make more offers and sign more clients. So I think to answer your question of like what would help with that is like how can we might need to with the current offer we have without adding like a back end offer or anything like that. We do want to add that in the future. That's probably going to be probably about a year or so away before we add a back end offer. But I'm thinking just the current model, we've got to improve our messaging and improve our ability to attract high quality leads to reduce our call costs. So that could be, how do we repackage our offer? Not even repackage it, but how do we articulate what the offer is, or how do we find that that quote unquote blue ocean and position it as a new opportunity to attract people in. So yeah.
Okay. Next section is called Favorite Five. It's a fast paced section. You can answer in one word. Let's go. What's your favorite business book?
I really like Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. Yeah, it's a good one.
That makes sense. What's your favorite way to get inspiration or to learn and grow?
Yeah, I actually love to consume YouTube videos by like people who I want to learn from. So right now it's a lot around business and marketing, and I just love to. I'll listen to YouTube videos. That's my favorite thing to do.
What's the favorite person that you are studying, your role model?
Whew, role model. Somebody who I think does it pretty well. Who I've been consuming a lot of his YouTube content is scaling with systems. His name's Ravi. Ravi. I don't know how to say his last name. I haven't met him, but I've enjoyed a lot of his work.
Nice. Favorite online tool for building your company?
Go high level.
Favorite city or place you would love to move to?
I'm just gonna say San Diego. My girlfriend's gonna be. She might not like that, and that may not be where it is. But that's what came up.
Fair enough. Biggest thing on your mind?
I've got a dentist appointment here in a couple of minutes, so it's probably the next thing. Someone's gonna be sticking metal in my mouth.
Okay, I'll hurry. Almost done. Almost done. Personal section. How many hours do you work per week? How many hours do you sleep per week? Per night.
Yeah, I was about to say for a week. I'm pretty good about 7. I get in bed around 9:30, 10, and wake up whenever I'm feeling like whenever I wake up. So I do pretty good with that. With work, man, right now it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. I think it comes with like doing the high ticket where we have a lot of big team members and we grew pretty fast over the years. So how many hours a week? Oh, I don't even know. I don't even want to track. Probably a decent amount, like more than normal. I'm gonna say 60, but it could be more than that. But yeah, it feels like it's
60.
more because even when I'm not
Okay, fair
working,
enough.
I'm working.
What's yeah? What's the situation? Are you married, single, and any kids?
I'm single, girlfriend, no kids.
What's your age?
I am 30. I think I'm 30. Yeah, 30.
Amazing. Final question. If you could go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what's the best piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Be patient, man. And I'm laughing because I really wanted to tell myself that too. I think it's like you want things to
Yeah,
happen so fast,
I
in your 20s, and even like now, I still feel like I want things fast, and it's just like be patient, man. And you have so much more learning to do before you're at that stage. So I think it's just be patient.
makes sense. Just based on experience, I can tell you that in the late 30s it gets better.
I believe it, man. I believe it.
Just wait for it. But anyways, this is Matt Shiver. He was a physical therapist that turned actually entrepreneur, and he's crushing it. He is providing mentorship, 6 months, one-on-one, hybrid, really getting you the results on Instagram, organic and paid, creating the right offer, the right sales process to get your ROI within less than 2 months. For a small investment, you will work together with him to make that happen. He has cracked the 6-figure mark monthly, so he's a 7-figure creator. He has a sales team in place, scaling through ads. Biggest thing that is holding him back is getting the cost per call down. The funnel is amazing. He runs ads to email list and nurtures through YouTube, then sales call, then converts. He does all of that $1 million business with a really small audience of less than 25,000, which is outstanding. And yeah, sky's the limit. So thank you so much for sharing your passion and taking us to the next level.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
That was Matt Shiver. You learned the significance of effective lead generation when working towards financial freedom. So how can you unlock the next level in your business?